what is your thoughts? Mike, obviously we're talking about VS Code. So what are your thoughts on Microsoft's role in developer tools right now? You know, I look at Microsoft as obviously they're innovating a lot, but um, they're really driving the market in many ways. And they're setting expectations of kind of the next generation developer tools. What are your takes on that?
I think that the smart thing that Microsoft did was hire away a couple of guys like Eric Gamma, all the guys that started the Eclipse Java tooling project like 20 years ago. And
Hmm.
they hired them and gave them free reign to build something, right? I mean, the Monaco project had been going on for 5 years until VS Code started, or some couple of years anyway. And a lot of VS Code success is built on the experiences they made when building Eclipse, the IDE itself. I mean, the extensibility. The problem with Eclipse is that if you have one bad plugin, it can stop your whole system basically by
Hmm.
bringing the VM down or by just delaying everything, so everything gets slow. And a lot of the stuff, I guess, that were in Eclipse and JDT, people just weren't really using. I mean, for me personally, I used refactoring was much better or much bigger anyway in Eclipse originally. And when I moved to VS Code or Theia now, I missed it, but I guess most people didn't. It's like, when you take Microsoft Word. Um, Most people don't use 90% of it, but the problem is it's not the same 90%. And I think that reduction and that simplification is key why VS Code is having the success it's having, right?
Hmm.
As far as, I mean, if we're looking what Microsoft has been doing the last couple of years, they bought NPM, they bought GitHub. They now have a very, very well-used IDE. I think they're going for dominance in the developer tool space, and I don't think they're just doing that out of the goodness of their heart. They're going to do something with it. I'm not Microsoft, so I can tell you what the long range goal is there.
Hmm. Yeah, Mark, what are your thoughts?
Um, so a lot of people assume that we don't like Microsoft and their product, but I can tell you personally, and I think sure I'm not the only one. I really love VS Code and all the innovation that they brought with VS Code. And just to mention one that I think is maybe one of the greatest ID related technology that they introduced is the language server protocol that permits to add language support in an IDE uh, very easily compared to what we had before. They factor out the intelligence related to a specific language in an outside component, and they just have this protocol that can be used with a simple quote unquote dumb client. And that was one of the big reasons to go with VS Code as the inspiration when we created Theia. And as things went along and when Red Hat contributed the plugin system, we even got closer to VS Code.
Yeah.
I agree with that sentiment totally. I mean, I know many of the guys on the VS Code team. But the thing is that it's great that VS Code exists, but I'm not sure I want it to be the only game in town, right? Especially
Yeah.
moving to online IDs.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think that the sentiment on VS Code being a great product that developers love is something that's shared broadly. In fact, I was looking at the Stack Overflow developer survey recently, and VS Code is leaps and bounds beyond any other editor right now as far as what developers and professional developers actually prefer, which is, I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. But yeah, I mean, I think it just echoes that sentiment of how much developers really love what they're doing and how well they've kind of tuned into what developers actually want.